Hello again everybody and a very warm welcome back to the channel today. We're at London Heathrow with the Phoenix A320 powered by some CFM engines, and we're checking out BeyondATC for the very first time. So hit like, hit subscribe, share your thoughts down in the comments below, and we're going to dive straight in after the intro. If you're tuning in, possibly for the very first time, a very warm welcome on board to you. Thanks for joining us today on this flight to Manchester. Why have we chosen London Heathrow to Manchester? Well, it's a really good, popular British Airways shuttle service, of course. Nice short flight time, but also has vectors involved with the arrival into Manchester. So we're going to put it through the test on that today. Now, I've actually had BeyondATC for the last 2 months in beta early access, but I haven't had a chance to actually check it out. So this is a proper first flight, full flight with the system installed. And I know lots of you have already got it, been using it. Some have been saying really good things, some have been experiencing a couple of bugs. This is of course still in early access, so there are going to be some rough edges to it. A couple of things that I've learned from the forums then, things like VFR versus IFR. This seems to be much better with IFR flights, and indeed that's kind of what it's actually designed for anyway. So let's just briefly, before we depart, take a look at the system itself. So you go to the website, which is linked in the description down below, and you download the installer. Really easy to install, and you get this wonderful little memo with a prompt for you to purchase the products if you haven't already done so. So let's turn our attention to the software itself. You head to the website, which is linked down in the description below, and you install the software, which is actually really quite simple, quite quick to install, and you'll then be prompted to purchase the product. And you have a number of different options available on this page here, and for now all you really kind of need is the basic package at $30. Gives you 50,000 sort of usage units of premium voices. Very complicated still. I don't understand why they use that kind of transmission time and all this complicated pricing structure, but for the most part everybody just needs to purchase the basic model really, and if they find that they're loving the premium voices that they have a little bit of access to for free in that, when that runs out you can then top it up, or in fact go for the big old supporters pack as well, which gives you access to the dev branch, and you get a special Discord role, not that that's anything important, so on and so forth. So I've just got the basic premium version, and eventually you're prompted to add in your SimBrief pilot ID. Before we do that though, when you go into the options page you want to toggle your push to talk, so I've got that set to my push to talk that I use the same keybind on my yoke for VATSIM, and you can toggle bring to front as well if you want to check that out during the flight, and fire action 1 as well. So a couple of little things there. Currently AI traffic's in op, and you can see there the various different functions. It does recognise some virtual airlines, so Osprey Airways, from what I understand, is understood by BeyondATC, and I've set my controller voice model to premium so we can hear that today. I've got 50,000 quote characters unquote, whatever that means. We'll see how that's impacted on this short 30-minute flight to Manchester. At the end of it you can see it's on 50,000 at the moment, and I've selected use complex basic voice accounts because you might get some regional dialects involved. Not convinced we're going to hear that today, but we'll see what happens. So with all that set up, you pop your SimBrief pilot ID in.
BeyondATC connected.
And it will begin to load the airport. This is obviously quite a complicated airport. We can hear this little blip noise. Now we can select auto tune radio on if we want to. Or you can press the headphone button to give you the different frequencies you need. So we are going to start with the ATIS and the clearance. We'll tune that in to see what happens. So 128.080 for now.
0950 Zulu, wind 250 at 4 temperature 18, dew point 11, QNH 1027.
And that's quite loud, so we can turn it down.
Runways 27 right, 27 left.
And this is using the premium voices, which you can see are already being wiped out, and they've gone down to 49652. So I'm going to write stuff down.
Heathrow Airport information Zulu, 0950 Zulu, wind 250 at 4 temperature 18, dew point 11, QNH 1027, landing and departing runways 27 right, 27 left, transition level 060, read back all hold short instructions.
Lovely.
Advise on initial contact you have information
Nice and quick,
Zulu.
clearance 12198.
Heathrow Airport information Zulu, 0950 Zulu, wind 250 at 4...
So now we need to speak to Heathrow Delivery, and you can either set the request IFR clearance by clicking one of the bottles there, or you can do a radio check, or we can transmit. You can see there our call sign Osprey 100 Bravo because it recognises our virtual airline with the call sign, and our ICAO code of Bravo Victor X-ray as well. Heathrow Delivery Osprey 100 Bravo, radio check.
Osprey 100 Bravo, reading you loud and clear.
Let's get our clearance and see what happens next. We're expecting the Umlaut 1 Golf departure runway 27 left with an initial climb of 6,000 feet. Heathrow Delivery, good morning. Osprey 100 Bravo, stand 328, Airbus A320 with Zulu on board. QNH 1027, request clearance to Manchester.
Osprey 100 Bravo, Heathrow Delivery. Thanks for Zulu. Expect runway 27 left. Umla 1 Golf departure. Squawk 5052.
Cleared to Manchester, runway 27 left, Umlaut 1 Golf departure, squawk 1052, Osprey 100 Bravo.
Negative, squawk 5052.
So that recognised that. Roger, squawk 5052, Osprey 100 Bravo.
Osprey 100 Bravo, read back correct. Contact ground 121.90 when ready for pushback or engine start.
So the next frequency is ground. There's 3 frequencies, but it's guiding us to the relevant one. 121.9. So you can see we've almost used 1,000 characters and we've not actually gone anywhere. And I've disabled UI sounds, albeit with a warning message that if you transmit and it's not connecting to the server, it might cause problems because the weird blip blip noises are actually quite annoying. So push and start wise, I've parked in a bit of an awkward place because I'm curious to see how it handles this. So we should just get a push and start approved. No directions because we're in a cul-de-sac, and with the landing traffic on 27 right, I'm expecting a taxi, sort of Bravo, Foxtrot, Alpha, November 4 Echo or November Bravo 3 for an intersection departure. That's usually what would be the case on a day like today, but it's early access and it's not necessarily aware of the fact that there's dual runway with separate landing runway to the takeoff runway at real life, so we'll just see what we get. Heathrow ground, good morning, Osprey 100 Bravo, stand 328 to request push and start.
Aircraft calling for pushback. Say, call sign.
Osprey 100 Bravo.
Osprey 100 Bravo. Heathrow ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northwest.
Push start approved northwest, Osprey 100 Bravo. So, with the ground pin removed, we've done our control surface check, so let's get our taxi clearance. Osprey 100 Bravo, request taxi.
Aircraft calling for taxi instructions. Say, call sign.
Osprey 100 Bravo.
Osprey 100 Bravo, runway 27 left taxi via Hotel Bravo, link 28, November 1.
Taxi runway 27 left via Hotel Bravo, link 28 and November 1, Osprey 100 Bravo. Okay, so it's sending us the other way. That's fine. We're offline, so it's not like there's any real traffic around us, so it's one of those minor things. It doesn't have the kind of logic behind it, so it wouldn't know. So here's link 28.
Osprey 100 Bravo, contact Heathrow Tower 124.47.
Tower 12447, Osprey 100 Bravo. Thanks, have a good day. 12447. Hand it off then. I've got 124475 as the only potential, but we'll see if it works. Approach path's clear. Beautiful Concorde next to us. Heathrow Tower, good morning. Osprey 100 Bravo at November 1, ready for departure.
Osprey 100 Bravo, Heathrow Tower, wind 250 at 4, runway 27 left, line up and cleared for takeoff.
Runway 27 left, clear for takeoff, Osprey 100 Bravo. Not a fan of that bit of dialogue. So a line-up clearance wouldn't be given at the same time as a clear for takeoff, from what I understand, because they're two separate instructions. A line-up and wait would be issued for a line-up and wait, but you wouldn't get line-up and cleared for takeoff, because we're just cleared for takeoff. So there's a slight kind of potential inaccuracy there. Not a fan of that bit of dialogue. But anyway, stick forwards. We'll see when it hands us off once we get airborne. Positive rate, gear up. Autopilot 1 engaged. Wait for the handoff.
Osprey 100 Bravo, contact Heathrow departure 134.9 at 8.
Heathrow departure 134.908, Osprey 100 Bravo. See if it corrects us. No, 134.98. Heathrow departure, good morning, Osprey 100 Bravo's 2,200 feet, Umlaut 1 Golf.
Osprey 100 Bravo, Heathrow departure, good day identified, climb to flight level 100.
Climb flight level 100, good day, Osprey 100 Bravo. So it's cleared us to continue the climb. So we'll ignore the constraints, we'll just go into open climb. So far actually really quite nice. There is some of the language issues. They line up and clear for takeoff. I've never in a million years heard it kind of structured like that. But again, it's early access. These things can be worked on, tweaked, improved, all the rest of it. One thing I have noticed on the software is as we kind of conduct each thing correctly, it gives us a little tick where all of these kind of potential icons are that we're flicking through at the moment. Now if we were to click any of these, it would send that message for us, but we're just using the respond instead. If you want it to just be automatic, you can select auto respond and auto tune radio, and what that will do is allow you to be very hands off, as if the first officer is doing it for you instead. Just one less thing to do. We've got London Control coming up, 118475 I think. 118475. So we'll get that ready. Because it's a short route, we've got everything else planned through transition. We'll just carry on with the rest of the flights.
Osprey 100 Bravo, contact London Control 118.47.
Contact London 11847, Osprey 100 Bravo, thanks, bye. I'd like there to be a little bite at the end, kind of, from them, but again, these are minor, very minor little things. So you can press announce on frequency, or we can call London Control. Now let's tune to basic voices. You can see there we've used 1,500 premium characters already, and we've only just got airborne on a short flight to Manchester. London Control, good morning, Osprey 100 Bravo, flight level 100, inbound Umlaut.
Osprey 100 Bravo, London Control, climb to flight level 200.
Can we request flight level 180, Osprey 100 Bravo? Climb flight level 200, Osprey 100 Bravo.
Osprey 100 Bravo, flight level 200 is already your assigned cruise level.
The Osprey 100 Bravo, request flight level 180.
Osprey 100 Bravo, confirm new cruise altitude flight level 180.
Affirm.
Osprey 100 Bravo, roger, new cruise altitude flight level 180.
There's another slight issue. So our Simbury flight plan for this route, I've set fixed to flight level 180, and that is the standard route altitude for this sector. On the way back it would be flight level 190, so having put in the Simbury ID, one would have expected, bearing in mind it's understood the Umlaut 1 Golf, the runway in use, all the rest of it from our flight plan, one would have expected it to have recognised our cruising altitude as well within that, which is flight level 180. A little confusing. It's even in there from our Simbury flight plan, so it's all set everywhere else correctly, but for some reason it's not picked up on that inside the program. And then it seemed a bit confused when it asked me to go to flight level 200 when I was asking for flight level 180. So initially it didn't respond. I've then confirmed I'll climb to 200 to hopefully make it step, and then I've requested, and then it's been confused by that, and then I've requested an altitude change. So the flow isn't as I would expect necessarily. The basic voices, you can hear a massive difference between the two, can't you? So we've just now changed that to basic voices, and there's a significant difference in that voice. It's a little bit more robotic and a little bit more square. I'm curious to see what it does into Manchester, which is why I've set this today, because it's going to have to give us radar vectors from Dane to get to our final approach fix for the ILS 23 right. So it's going to have to vector us and plug this gap. Now 004 degrees isn't suitable because that turns too tight. Instead they tend to come out a bit wider and then route in kind of a little tiny base leg and then turning inbound for the ILS. So I'm very interested to see what's going to happen there with that. Having said all of that, so far if you don't use VATSIM or IVAO or anything like that and you want to get started with some ATC, this is night and day, loads better than the default one from MSFS, which is pretty crap, to be blunt. But for those of us who use VATSIM, I'm not convinced it would be a replacement of Unicom. I suppose it's better than Unicom, isn't it? It's better than having nothing at all, but it's a little rough around the edges, and it would be in early access. There are some things already on this very short, and to be fair, very popular sector in Flight Sim that are incorrect from what we've found so far, that need to be tweaked. And instead of it being, when you look at Say Intentions or you look at Avimate, they use ChatGPT. This doesn't use a form of AI like that. It's using speech recognition and a whole complex algorithm of scripts, from what I understand, to piece together what it then needs to say back to you. It's very clever how it's done. Now, as we fly along, having requested it to do flight level 180, and it's accepted that, it still looks like it's expecting us to go to flight level 200. So I'm going to leave it at flight level 180 because it's in the kind of log, if you like, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen next.
Osprey 100 Bravo, you were assigned flight level 200. I show you at flight level 190. Climb to flight level 200.
So as we thought, it's getting really stuck on that. The only thing I can think of is it's clashing with the nav data. The Elvos waypoint wants us at flight level 200, but actually on this route in particular, that's not a thing. So we're having to go to flight level 200 to stop it hanging up on itself, it seems. So climb flight level 200, Osprey 100 Bravo. Which we're at now. Osprey 100 Bravo, request descent, flight level 180.
Osprey 100 Bravo, LV1 Mike, runway 23 right, descend to flight level 080.
Elvo 1 Mike, runway 23 right, descend, flight level 80, Osprey 100 Bravo.
Negative, descend to flight level 080.
Descend flight level 080, Osprey 100 Bravo. There are a lot of issues with this. So we're going to go to 080. And I'm going to go into manage descent.
Osprey 100 Bravo, contact Manchester radar 118.77.
Manchester radar 118.77, Osprey 100 Bravo, bye. Or 18775, I think it's got to be. Now, interestingly, I've tuned the ATIS information from Navigraph into there, and it's not picking it up. Manchester radar, good morning, Osprey 100 Bravo's descending to flight level 80, Elvos 1 Mike. So we've got no ATIS.
Osprey 100 Bravo, Manchester radar, roger.
I think we'll just be guided by whatever happens really throughout this. If I just change the speech back to premium for a moment, just so we can listen to everything. And we can now see the, by pressing the headphone button there, the ATIS frequency. So 128.18.
To 16, dew point 11, QNH 1027, landing runway 23 right, departing runway 23 left, 23 right, transition level 050, temporary flight restrictions are in effect for Manchester. Advise on initial contact, you have information Quebec. Manchester Airport, information Quebec, 1020 Zulu. Wind and tree 10 at 4, ceiling 2100 broken. Temperature 16, dew point 11, QNH 1027, landing runway 23 right, departing runway 23 left, 23 right, transition level 050. Temporary flight restrictions are in effect for Manchester. Advise on initial...
There's a massive difference in the speech recognition there between the two, the premium models and the...
Information Quebec, 1020 Zulu, Winnie Tree 10 at 4, ceiling 2100 broken, temperature...
So what I've done is set a fix ring at 8 miles, just to see roughly how this is going to vector us from Dane. Going to be quite interesting as a bit of a test. I'd like to think this is a route that they have done during beta testing. But we will find out shortly. We can see the next frequency is going to be Tower. It's either 11904 or 11863. I'm going to assume it's the first one, so 11904. Just going to get prepared. And then I'm just going to go into open descent. And start to bring our speed down.
Osprey 100 Bravo, contact Manchester approach 121.35.
Contact Manchester approach 121.35, Osprey 100 Bravo. 121.35. Manchester approach, hello Osprey 100 Bravo's descending flight level 140 for 080, inbound Trent.
Osprey 100 Bravo, verify information Quebec.
AFM, we have Quebec on board, Osprey 100 Bravo.
Airport information Quebec.
Osprey 100 Bravo, verify information Quebec.
10 at 4, ceiling 2100 broken.
We have Quebec, Osprey 100 Bravo.
QNH 1027.
Osprey 100 Bravo, verify information Quebec.
Departing runways 23 left, 23 right. Transition level 050.
AFM, we have information Quebec on board, Osprey 100 Bravo.
Osprey 100 Bravo, Manchester approach, QNH 1027. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 23 right.
QNH 1027, expect radar vectors, ILS 23 right, Osprey 100 Bravo. So at a couple of times now it's kind of hung up a little bit on the ATIS information. I've intentionally not given them the ATIS information because I wanted to see how it behaved, and I had to say then 3 times that we have Quebec on board, and eventually it's accepted that. But it's recognised the fact that we are going to have radar vectors, which is pretty cool, and I'm now quite excited to see how it manages the next phase. So at Dane we're going to go to heading mode. We should be given vectors before that though, otherwise we're going to have to enter a right turn and an outbound hold of heading 131 degrees as per the charts. Coming up to flight level 80.
Osprey 100 Bravo, leave Dane heading 025. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 23 right.
Leave Dane heading 025, expect vectors ILS 23 right, Osprey 100 Bravo. That's pretty good. I was expecting there though a descend instruction.
Osprey 100 Bravo, turn right heading 015, vectors for the approach.
Okay, now it's changed that slightly. Right turn 015, Osprey 100 Bravo.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for landing.
Juicy. So this is looking alright. 025 was fine as well, because it actually made us come out a little bit wider, but it's changed the plan slightly. That's fine, they can do that for radar vectors. We shouldn't need the... Well, we probably do need the speed brake at some point, because it's taking us in fairly high. We should be descending now, down towards 3,500 feet.
Osprey 100 Bravo, turn right, heading 045, descend to flight level 070.
Right 045, descend, flight level 070, Osprey 100 Bravo. Just taking this a little wider. See what it does.
Osprey 100 Bravo, turn left, heading 340, descend to flight level 060.
Left heading 340, descend flight level 060, Osprey 100 Bravo. That should be QNH, be altitude 6,000 feet now. Because we're below the transition level. So I'm going to revert to that.
100 Bravo, 10 miles from CF2 Triar, turn left, heading 270, maintain 3,500 feet until established on the final approach course. Cleared ILS runway 23 right.
Roger, left 270 degrees, descend 3,500 feet, cleared ILS runway 23 right, Osprey 100 Bravo. It's pretty awesome, albeit with, it's fairly rough around the edges, and some of the conversational pieces, the instructions aren't particularly accurate or realistic, but actually I think in the main, as a package, I'm quite impressed. And if you're not used to VATSIM or real-world ATC, then actually you're not going to know any different, and you'll just get used to the format that this requires when coordinating with the air traffic control within the package of BeyondATC. Osprey 100 Bravo's established ILS 23 right.
Osprey 100 Bravo, did not copy.
So that doesn't exist in its language. So set 180, go flap 2, just to keep it a little bit slower through the S speeds. Vectors actually seem pretty good. I was impressed with the way it vectored us in there. It seemed like it was a bit too high initially, but actually it worked out really nicely.
Osprey 100 Bravo, contact Manchester Tower 119.4. Have a good day.
Tower 119.4, Osprey 100 Bravo. You can see our next frequency is going to be ground 121.85. Do a bit of multitasking. Manchester Tower, good day, Osprey 100 Bravo's established 8 miles, ILS 23 right.
Osprey 100 Bravo, Manchester Tower, wind 310 at 4 runway 23 right, cleared to land.
Runway 23 right, cleared land, Osprey 100 Bravo. Didn't pick that up. Runway 23 right, cleared land, Osprey 100 Bravo. Okay, landing memos, no blue. Flaps are full and green. Cabin secure. Missed approach is briefed. So we're keeping this fairly basic. We're not necessarily going to balk the landing and trigger a go around or anything. We're just going to kind of fly as is, without obviously any of the traffic around. So we're going to keep it, the idea of this route is to keep it as simple as possible, but with some radar vectors and a number of different frequencies to use. I think certainly for the basic package with the basic voices, it's a very impressive bit of kit and very good at what it does, albeit with a number of improvements to be made. I have sent my voice in as well, so a number of content creators have been asked to provide voices. I've done that, albeit 2 months a bit late from the initial request, but just been a bit busy. So hopefully you'll get my voice as a controller at some point soon in BeyondATC as well. Over the pup, wave to the spotters.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Touchdown. Reverse screen. Decel. We've missed the high-speed exit. My brakes.
Osprey 100 Bravo. Exit right at Bravo.
That's that one there. Wilco Osprey 100 Bravo. Let's tidy the jet up as we vacate.
Osprey 100 Bravo. Contact ground 121.85. Bye-bye.
Manchester ground, hello, Osprey 100 Bravo is vacated, Bravo.
Osprey 100 Bravo. I didn't get that.
Manchester ground, hello, Osprey 100 Bravo's taxiing on Bravo, request taxi to gates.
Osprey 100 Bravo. Welcome to Manchester Airport. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
Request stand 25.
Osprey 100 Bravo. Unfortunately, gate 25 Sierra Tango Alpha November Delta isn't available at this airport.
What?
Please choose another.
Request any stand, Osprey 100 Bravo.
Osprey 100 Bravo. Gate 25 taxi via Bravo, Delta, Lima.
Odd. Taxi stand 25 via Bravo, Delta, Lima, Osprey 100 Bravo. So yeah, it's got its quirks, as we found out today. Quite a number of weird kind of events. Not necessarily a smooth experience, but smooth enough. And a massive enhancement on the default ATC. It wouldn't replace something like VATSIM where you're speaking to a real controller using real radio telephony rules, but this is trying quite hard to replicate it as best as it can, and it's doing a good enough job. It just can't do everything. But there we go. I hope you found the video useful and informative. As always, it's an honest review. It's not always rosy and this is amazing that you hear elsewhere. There are flaws with this. It is in early access. There are problems with it. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you very much for flying along. And I'll see you in a live stream very soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.